Hi, Chestnut Grove. This is Pastor Andy Gathman, and this is practice number 2 in our How to Pray series. And for this practice, we're going to work through a personal prayer history. In the previous lesson, I was talking about those expectations that we can bring to prayer that inhibit our ability to have a meaningful connection with God. And so in this practice, what we're going to do is we're going to think through our own history with prayer, try to examine some of the expectations that we might be bringing, and also figure out those places where prayer has connected with us deeply and use that as a guide to help us understand what our next steps in prayer might be. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is simply review our life when it comes to the experience of prayer. And so if you have the handout in front of you, you can see that there's a timeline there. On the left hand would be early life. On the right hand would be present day. If you don't have the handout, I encourage you just to grab a piece of paper and draw a line through it from left to right to represent your whole life. And what I want you to do is I want you to review your life and think about the various seasons of your experience of prayer. You'll probably notice that at various points in your life, your experience with prayer changed. Maybe it's because your season of life was changing. Maybe it's because your understanding of prayer was changing. Maybe it's because of the various things going on in your life changed how much time you're able to spend in prayer. Whatever that looks like for you, I just want you to sort of represent it on that timeline, however it seems best to you, and then try to label each season with a word or two that just captures what your prayer life was like in that particular season. The second thing you're going to do is I want you to reflect. Now that you've identified the various seasons of prayer in your life, I want you to reflect on each of those seasons and consider what your connection with God was like in those seasons. So, how did you experience God? What sort of practices of prayer or worship did you use? What role did other people play in your life? Maybe your parents or Sunday school teacher or youth group or a church community. Take some time to reflect on those things. You can jot it down on the timeline or use some space to journal it, however it seems best to you, but spend a good amount of time in reflection, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Finally, after you have reviewed your life for seasons of prayer and you've reflected a little bit on how you've experienced God in each of those seasons, I want to invite you just to go to God in prayer and invite God to give you some insight based on your reflections. Don't simply just analyze it yourself or react emotionally, but really seek God to give you some insight. And you may ask yourself, what themes stand out? What are some possible next steps? And then I want to invite you just to simply close with a prayer of intention, offering your life of prayer to God. Now, as you do this, maybe you'll learn some really helpful things. Maybe it'll just be something that you tuck away. But it's really helpful to understand our own expectations that we bring to prayer and begin to ask God what God wants to give us in prayer and to allow God to shape our expectations so that we can be willing to receive the things that God wants to give us. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you would like to learn more, if you'd like to journey with others, I invite you to send us an email, connect@chestnutgrovechurch.net, or you can check out our website, follow us on Facebook to find the other ways that our community of faith is growing together in our walk with God. Well, thanks for joining me for part 2 of our series on how to pray. If you'd like to connect with others who are also on this journey, please reach out and email our church office, connect@chestnutgrovechurch.net. If you would like some more resources or want to learn more about our church, go to our website, chestnutgrovechurch.net. And you can also find us on Facebook, where you can find videos of recent sermons and other information about what's going on in our community of faith. May God be with you as you consider the expectations that have shaped your prayer life and seek the place where prayer becomes real.